African news update on top accolade news. The headlines: Gabon's coup leader wins presidency. Tanzania'S Chadema disqualified from 2025 elections. Rwanda to build memorial honoring journalists killed in 1994 genocide. Ethiopia claims economic growth. In politics, Gabon's coup leader wins presidency. In Gabon, military leader Brice Oligui Nguema has officially won the presidential election with a staggering 90.35% of the vote, according to provisional results announced by the Electoral Commission. The Interior Minister delivered the results on national television, confirming Oligui Nguema secured over 575,000 votes in a high turnout election that saw 87.21% of the 920,000 registered voters participate. The former head of the Republican Guard and transitional president rose to power after leading the 2023 coup that ended over 5 decades of Bongo family rule. His landslide victory comes amid ongoing scrutiny of the previous regime's alleged corruption and economic mismanagement in the oil-rich Central African nation. Still in politics, Tanzania'S Chadema disqualified from 2025 election. In a dramatic turn ahead of the Tanzania's October general election, the country's main opposition party, Chadema, has been disqualified from participating after failing to sign an election code of conduct, according to the National Electoral Commission. The decision, which also bars Chadema from by-election until 2030, follows the arrest and treason charges against its leader, Tundu Lissu, who authorities accuse of inciting rebellion. Lissu, a vocal critic of the ruling CCM party, has called for sweeping electoral reforms and was apprehended after addressing a rally in the south. The opposition party had earlier vowed to boycott the code signing process, citing a biased system. While the government insists it is committed to democracy and human rights, critics accuse it of using repressive tactics to silence dissent. Tanzania prepares for pivotal election amid mounting political tension and international scrutiny. Moving on in politics, Rwanda to build memorial honoring journalists killed in 1994 genocide. Rwanda's Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, in partnership with the Rwanda Media Council, has announced plans to erect a monument honoring journalists who were killed during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. The announcement was made during a commemoration event at the ROBA headquarters in April 12, where 60 journalists were remembered. The memorial, expected to be completed by next year, will serve a dedicated site for families and media practitioners to pay tribute, with names and photographs of the victims to be displayed. Officials emphasized the importance of remembering not only those who perished, but also the journalists who resisted spreading hate and upheld ethical reporting. The government reaffirmed its commitment to supporting genocide victims' families and strengthening the media's role in national unity and remembrance. Shifting focus to economy, Ethiopia claims economic growth. Despite ongoing conflict in Ethiopia's regions and mounting public unrest over unpaid salaries, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's administration is touting an 8.4% economic growth projection for the past 9 months. In a cabinet meeting held at the renovated Jubilee Palace, officials praised recent macroeconomic reforms as a new exchange rate regime that caused the Ethiopian birr to depreciate by over 100%. While the government claimed these changes have boosted remittances and reserves, critics say the reality is on ground, marked by war, a worsening humanitarian crisis, and protests from unpaid teachers and health workers. It paints a much bleaker picture. Meanwhile, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is reportedly 98.66% complete, though questions remain about transparency and reduced capacity. But the ruling party dominating parliament and operating a large pro-government media network, scrutiny of official narrative remain limited. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. staying with us. In international relations, Algeria expels 12 French embassy officials. Algeria has ordered 12 French embassy officials to leave the country within 48 hours in a diplomatic escalation following the arrest of 3 Algerian nationals in France. The officials, including members of the French Interior Ministry, are linked to the alleged involvement in the April 2024 abduction of Algerian influencer Ami Bakou, who is a vocal critic of the Algerian government. He was abducted in Paris but released the next day. The incident comes amid growing tension between France and Algeria, with Algiers demanding Bokou's return to face trial for alleged fraud and terrorism offenses. Moving to conflict, RSF seizes famine-hit Zamzam camp in Darfur. Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces has claimed control of the famine-stricken Zamzam displacement camp in North Darfur following 2 days of intense shelling and gunfire that reportedly killed over 100 people, including children and aid workers. The RSF alleged it acted to secure civilians from the Sudanese armed forces, who it accused of using the camp as a military base. However, right groups and the United Nations warn of escalating atrocities, including reports of mass civilian casualties and sexual violence. The RSF continues to push to seize El Fasher, the last state capital in Darfur, still under army control, as the conflict splits Sudan and drives what the UN now calls the world's worst humanitarian crisis, with half of the population facing extreme hunger. In entertainment, Yvonne Nelson advocates for natural beauty. Ghanaian actress and producer Yvonne Nelson has expressed her strong opposition to body enhancement, saying she is content with her natural appearance and would rather have more children than undergo cosmetic surgery. Nelson explained that she believes women who alter their bodies often struggle with self-confidence, describing it as a mental issue. She cautioned young girls about the dangers of body enhancement, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing health and self-appearance over societal beauty standards. Nelson's comments are a call to embrace natural beauty and avoid the risk of constant physical alterations. Now in sports, Ghana drawn into Group C for 2025 Under-20 AFCON in Egypt. Ghana's Black Satellites face a tough road ahead of the 2025 Total Energies CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations after being drawn into Group C alongside defending champions Senegal, DR Congo, and the Central African Republic. The new draw, held on April 13th, following Cote d'Ivoire's withdrawal as host, places Ghana in one of the tournament's most competitive groups, with Egypt now hosting from April 27th to May 18th. Head coach Desmond Ofe will lead the 4-time champions into their quest for continental glory. Only the top 2 teams in each group and the 2 best third-place sides will reach the quarterfinals, raising the stakes in this year's compact. That concludes our African news update for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojarumi Okucha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.